You know what's interesting about a dental chair? Nobody lies in it. The moment you sit down, something shifts. The small talk stops, the walls come down, and people start telling you things they've never told anyone. Their fears, their regrets, their dreams, their secrets. I've heard it all. My name is Adriana Cappelli. I am the VP and COO of Cappelli Dental in Hillsdale, New Jersey. And for the last 3 years, I've had a front row seat to some of the most real and remarkable human moments I've ever witnessed. This podcast is where the stories live. Confessions at the Dental Chair, where we talk about life, business, love, loss, and everything in between. Because the most honest conversations happen when you are leaning back, staring at the ceiling, and you realize you have nowhere else to go. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Let's begin.
And, and now here I am.
If you had an opportunity of do it all again, would you do it everything the same, or would you change anything?
No, I think I probably would do it all the same. I think I would appreciate it more, though, because I think it went by, when you're doing this, when I was doing it, you get so wrapped up in what you're doing because there's a glamorous aspect to it.
For sure.
Sure. There's glamour involved.
Yeah,
you're on the air every day. People are now knowing who you are. In 2007, I get a phone call from this a lady named Jeannie Willis. So I love Jeannie. And she was at SNY, which was, had just started maybe a few years before that as the, television home now of the Mets. Okay. But they had other programming as well. So she called me. She said, look, would you be interested in doing a half-hour show in the afternoon from 5 to 5:30? It was sponsored by the Daily News at the time, called Daily News Live.
Yes. Would
you be interested in doing this show? So I said, wow. So I talked to my wife about it. So from 2007 till 2013, I did this show from 5 to 5:30 on SNY on television. So now I'm doing the radio show in the morning from 10 to 1.
Yes.
And now I'm doing this TV show in the afternoon from 5 to 5:30. Right?
Wow.
So I did that for like 7 or 8 years. For about the first 5 years, I was doing it every day, the show. Then I couldn't do it anymore every day. It was getting too much.
Yes.
So I was doing it 3 days a week. And then eventually I said, look, I can't do this anymore. Because it was, here I am. I'm doing basically a 3-hour radio show and a half-hour TV show, and I'm putting in 12.5-hour days.
Of course.
Because I'm leaving early for a 10 o'clock show. I'm leaving my house. I'm leaving my house 5:30 in the morning.
Yes.
To beat the traffic, so I don't sit in freaking traffic.
Yes.
So and then you can't go home at 1 o'clock when you get done.
No.
You can't go home.
No.
You're not going back home to Jersey and coming back again.
No.
So I'm hanging out. I'd hang out until I had to go do the TV show. I'd hang out in the city, whatever different things I would do. I had where we were down in Hudson Street, there was this pier, right? That was beautiful. And when the weather was nice, I'd go there, I'd hang out, before the show. Then I'd go down, when I'd go back down, because, that was in the Village, right? 345 Hudson Street. The TV show at that time was in Midtown Manhattan, on 6th Avenue, right across from Radio City Musical.
Okay.
That's where it was.
Okay.
So I used to go, I'd go down and I used to hang out too. The Del Frisco's, the famous restaurant, was right across the street. I used to go there and hang out. I'd have like a shot and lunch before I go do the show. I did that for a little while too, so I wouldn't get home. I'm getting up 5:30 in the morning. I'm not getting home after the show's over 5:30. By the time I'm getting home, it's 7 o'clock. Eventually, I stopped doing the TV, like 2015, I stopped doing the TV. But an interesting side note to it too. My car one day, when I was still doing television, and this expedited me ending to doing television, my car breaks down in the city as I'm driving in 5:30 in the morning. I managed to get it into the parking lot, the parking garage, because what I would do when I was doing television, I'd go to Midtown and leave my car there, and then take the subway back downtown to do the radio show, and then come back. So my car's right there, and I just leave. Okay. So my car breaks down. I was able to get it into the garage. I knew the guy I saw the same guy every morning. He knew me for years. What I had to go through and the money I had to spend to get my car towed back into Jersey was a nightmare.
A nightmare.
So at that point, I said to my wife, that's it. I'm taking the train from now on.
Okay.
So we had the train right in Mahwah.
Okay.
So from from 2013 or so until 2020 when I retired, I was taking the train back and forth.
Okay.
Which was better than driving.
Oh, much better.
But even that, you never know. As they have train breakdowns, the train's late. Like I said, it was a lot better.
Less
but
control.
even that had its drawbacks too.
Yes.
So, and that was it. So I mean, I did it. I did it full time from 1995 to 2020. And now the last number of years, I do the morning drive, and so that's where I am now. I do it from 5 in the morning till 9 in the morning. I do my podcast twice a week, Monday and Friday, and I do the FAN part, a Saturday morning gig, and that's it.
What is the name of the podcast?
Oh the Pain. The podcast is Oh the Pain.
Okay.
The Oh the Pain podcast.
Okay.
Because of all the pain I have rooting for the teams I rooted for. I finally got one of my teams now playing for the championship. First time in 53 freaking years that the Knicks have won a title. So hopefully they're going to get it done. Game 1 is tonight. We hope so.
Okay, I have a question.
Yep.
Jets, Mets, Knicks, Rangers.
Yep.
4 teams
Yep.
that have tested your soul for decades.
Yep.
If you're being honest, which one has caused you the most damage over the years?
That's a tough call because I became a Knick, Met, and Ranger fan before I became a Jet fan. 1962, when the Mets started, I became a Met fan from day one. So I've been a Met fan since the beginning of their existence.
Okay.
I became a Knick fan in 1962. My father was a big basketball fan. Played basketball in high school. Was a great basketball player in high school. Never got a chance to play beyond that because he got drafted into World War II. Right. Which one has given me the most pain?
Yes.
I would say the Jets, but really it's the Knicks because the Knicks have had more, and I say this, more brutal playoff losses than any team that I root for. And the most painful moment for me as a sports fan, my old partner Evan Roberts, in the summer of in 2020, in the summer of 2020, when there was no sports, that period when there was nothing going on.
Nothing.
Right, and we had to manufacture stuff to do, and
of course,
to do the radio show. So he, with a couple other people, came up with what he called the bracket of pain. Okay, and he broke down. It was like almost like the NCAA tournament. Okay, and he broke down all these moments for all my different teams, all these brutal losses that caused me pain over the years. The Jets have not won a championship in 50. It's going on 58 years. The Knicks have now won a championship in 53. Hopefully that's going to end in 2 weeks or a week or so. 53, the Knicks haven't won a title. The Mets haven't won in 40 years, and the Rangers haven't won in 32 years. So my teams don't win, okay? So he put this thing together, the bracket of pain, and all these brutal losses from the Jets, the Mets, the Knicks, the Rangers, all of these brutal moments.
Yeah.
And of all the brutal moments, the most brutal moment came from the Knicks. The 1993 Eastern Conference Finals, right? The Knicks had lost the previous 2 years. They'd lost in the playoffs to Michael Jordan. I hated Michael Jordan, okay? I look at him differently now for a lot of reasons, okay? I don't view him the same way I did when he was killing my team all the time. They're playing in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Bulls, right? They're up 2-0. They win the first 2 games at home in Madison Square Garden. Right, and I'm pumped up, man. This is it. 20 years at that point. It's 20 years since they won a title. They had won 60 games that year. Only one other team had ever won that many games in the history of the franchise, and that was the team that won a championship in 1970. No other team had won that many games. They had won something like 35 or so consecutive games at home at Madison Square Garden. Right, they wind up losing this game brutally. They missed 15 foul shots that night. It's a classic sequence by this Knick by the name of Charles Smith, where he has like 3 shots under the basket to give the Knicks the lead in the last minute. He misses all of them, gets 1 blocked. Probably should have got fouled. They didn't call it. Anyway, the Bulls go on and win that game. All right, and I'll never forget. I'm watching this game with a buddy of mine. He left. He couldn't take it. Couldn't believe it. I was devastated that night.
I can only imagine.
Okay, even though they still had, the Bulls had to win another game. The game 6 was back in Chicago. There was no way the Bulls were not winning that game. There was no way. I knew it. That moment when they lost that game 5 to the Bulls, that bothered me more than any Jet loss, than any Met loss, than any Ranger loss. That was the bracket of pain that Evan did. That turned out as we broke all the different things down. This one against that one. This against,
you figured it out.
that stuck a dagger in my heart more than anything ever did. So that was the most devastating. Even though football is my number one sport, right? Mm-hmm. It's probably the Jets number 1, and then the Mets and the Knicks are kind of 1A, okay. And then the Rangers are next. That's how I would group them. Okay. And yeah,
it's amazing how passionate can we be when it comes to sports.
I'm pretty bad. I'm pretty bad when it comes to it. Even though I've seen all my teams win, yeah. I just gave you the breakdown in the last time that each one of them won.
Yeah.
So, and I keep saying before I leave this earth, I need to see one more.
You have to.
I don't care who wins it.
Yeah.
I got to get one more. That's like this. That's why this series with the Knicks is such a big deal to me right now, because am I ever getting another chance? The other 3 teams I root for, they're not even anywhere in the stratosphere of being near winning a championship. Okay. So if this doesn't happen now, if they don't win now, when do they win it?
So what's next for Joe?
What's next? You know what? Right now, I just love being with my wife. I'm very fortunate and very blessed. I tell her all the time how blessed I am to be married to this beautiful woman. We're married. Going to be. She's just unbelievable. She still looks great. She still excites me. I don't know. I'm sure that I tell her this all the time. How lucky I am. Not a lot of guys my age, especially, that are married, with a woman for over 30 years that still have that feeling for her that I have. That's not. I tell her all the time. That's a small minority of people. So there was a lot of things that weren't always so easy, to deal with. But she stuck with me. She's been with me the whole time, and hopefully, eventually, right now we're kind of stuck in New Jersey. But eventually, we'll get out of here. I know I have a daughter that lives in Alabama, so I said, "Look, it's your daughter. You go down first." Okay. And even though it's very difficult for me to be without her, I don't know how I did it for almost a week without her. It's not easy, without my girl being here. Yeah, and it was made worse by the fact that she was away on Memorial Day weekend when it was pouring for 2 days in a row, and the weather couldn't have been freaking worse. That didn't help, but we got through it, and thank God she's back and she's safe and all that. Thank God. But that's but our daughter, and she'd love to see us go and live down there. Yeah, so that's it. I want to play golf. I want to hang out with my wife. I want to watch my teams, and eventually, I'll stop doing the podcast, and at some point, we'll stop doing the fan as well. But but that's where we are right now.
So you've been sitting in Dr. Cappelli's chair for years.
Right.
What do you think when you're in the dental chair? Is it a moment of peace, or are you still thinking about the Jets?
I'm really not thinking about the Jets right now because of the Knicks situation, and the Mets stink. So I'm reconciled to that. It's going to be a bad year for them. What I think about when I'm in the chair is give me the gas and let's go. And sitting there having a big smile on my face while he's drilling in my mouth, and I'm like buzzed to the heavens.
That's it. Doesn't get better than that.
It doesn't get better. I say, Doc, can I bring a little home with me?
Oh, I love it. It's so much fun.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. This was beautiful.
Thank you.
Really, really meaningful.